Sit down, shut your mouths,
and watch The Gift of Gabe. Yo, party peeps, what is up? It's your boy, the best gabber in the biz. Man, what a Dynamite 250 that we just had tonight. I can't wait for a whole another 250 and another 250 after that. Because, my God, this show was just awesome from top to bottom, start to finish. So, guys, let's just gab about all of it right here, right now. Like, first things first, I want to talk about that incredible opener for Dynamite. MJF and Will Ospreay almost went a whole hour. They went 59 minutes and 58 seconds. The longer I knew it was going to be, I was like, okay, this is going to be a draw. But sometimes I miss like how long the time limit is when Justin Roberts is saying it. So like I was like, okay, it's going to be 30 minutes. I'm like, wait, they just went over 30 minutes. So I'm like, oh my God, they would go for the hour? And I was like, dude, they're going to go for an hour. And literally, that's with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Bam, right to the face of Ospreay. Ref is counting 1, 2, 3 with 2 seconds left. And MJF. Oxygen mask in all classic MJF style, dude, because bro don't wrestle for this long, you don't like it, is the new international champion. Just look at the lineage of this championship ever since it's been created. Pac, Orange Cassidy, Moxley, like Roddy, Ospreay, and now MJF, dude. Like, holy shit. And then Garcia after him, because I think they're setting up MJF versus Garcia for when Garcia comes back to take that international championship off of MJF, and I am 1,000% for that. Like, let's effing go. As for what Will Ospreay does, I could obviously see them running it back at Wembley Stadium and All In 5 weeks from now. However, again, because I think they're going to do MJF Garcia for the title, I can't see Ospreay losing twice. I mean, I could see him losing at Wembley if I understand it, but I can't see it. So, are they going to do Pac versus MJF? Because Pac hasn't earned a title shot. We're going MJF versus Pac at All In, which I would be 1,000% for. And then could we possibly get, they said we're not getting Ospreay versus Ricochet, so Adam Cole sounds like he's on his way back. Could we get Ospreay versus Adam Cole? Like the options are endless, and I absolutely love that. What I don't love is it's not everybody. It's mostly the dumb WWE cucks and the haters. Like, if you watch this for an hour and we're just going to hate on it regardless, you have a mental illness. That's on you. Like, just, that's all I gotta say with you. Like, you're stupid as shit, and I've never cared about you, but just stop. And I'm not gonna be laughing my ass off when they get their media deal before All In, because it's looking like that's where it's gonna go, and they get, like, I'm guessing somewhere in the 200 mil to 230 mil of, like per year, and you're gonna be trying to find so many random ways to try to cope. It's gonna be so embarrassing than the takes you have anti-AEW all the freaking time. So again, F yourselves, go jerk off in a mirror, because clearly you have nothing better to do with your time. Like, I'm just stop. Like, all of us in the majority who aren't on Twitter love that match. So absolutely just suck it. I don't care. Ospreay and MJF, how the entire AEW roster is better than you, and you know it, and you can thank me later for telling you this, because you guys are just no nutsack having bumps. So again, alright guys, women's action basically going down tonight. Mercedes defending against Nyla Rose in a solid matchup against the beast Nyla Rose, but she got beat down by the CEO, and then the CEO got attacked by DMD. Pulled apart, dude. I still love this feud. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal when they actually touch at Wembley. Like, my God. But speaking of women and Wembley, it was the heel turn that shocked the world last week. And Mariah May came out to explain this was all part of her plan. She was always going to do this. She had the angle all along. Take the women's title off Toni Storm. Maybe it took a little longer than she expected, but she has gotten to where she wants to be, and she has her eyes on the prize, going to Wembley Stadium and in front of everybody, pulling the trigger and putting the old dog out of her misery, not behind the shed, but in front of the entire world, and in just that moment, in front of a packed house at Wembley Stadium, and finally get the World Championship, which I definitely think is the route that they are going to go. But just, Mariah, how do we get here? How do we get here? A week from, like, today, like, last week, I was so much more in disbelief. I was so much more emotional. And I've come down, but it's just like, man, how did we get here, man? How did we get here? But hey, they could go multiple ways with this. But I wouldn't be upset if they kind of had Toni Storm come back with her old character just for this match, you know, like to then beat like Mariah's ass. But they probably won't go that way. Like maybe we'll just see. I mean, she's already kind of vicious, so maybe just they'll turn up the volume on how vicious Toni Storm will be. We'll try and going after Mariah May. I mean, it's gonna be great regardless because we found out RJC's been booking this whole thing with Tony Khan, and bravo to this dude. He's one of the best signings. Even the heartbreak and the emotion and just everything about this feud and how it's going to go all the way to All In and the match, just there's only one word to describe all this, and I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's
cinema.
Okay, guys, the show's main event tonight was Swerve versus Okada. As Okada put it, bitch versus champion. And you know, after bro was, you know, obviously and no shame at all, simping over Mercedes. He had a pretty solid match with our world champion Swerve, and obviously no finish. You know, Bucks came out and attacked Swerve. I kind of didn't really expect the finish to happen here. There's the two of the top guys here in AEW. They both got to be protected, especially with Blood and Guts coming up next week. And now the teams are official. It will be the Elite and Hangman Page versus Swerve, Mark Briscoe, the Ring of Honor World Champion, Darby Allin, and the Acclaimed. I didn't think the Acclaimed were going to be in it. I don't love it. I still like the Acclaimed. I just didn't feel like it was their style of match to be in this. And I'll get to that in a second. But hell of a great closer for Dynamite. Huge brawl breaking out amongst everybody. They didn't. Hangman and Swerve confronted each other, but they didn't touch. I feel like that's one of the reasons I could say, or any of us could say, Danielson's not probably going to win at Wembley Stadium because they think they are going to still do Swerve versus Hangman down the line. But then again, Swerve could lose it and then win it back at Wrestle Dream, then fight Hangman in Full Gear. It's all still possible, but they're definitely going to do this Hangman Swerve match for the world title. I definitely think that's still happening. And Darby with the killer drop from the rafters. That will never be a time that does not get a pop out of all of us in the wrestling fandom. Because that takes you back from when it was Sting doing it all the time. Hell, even back to just earlier this year with his awesome retirement with Darby. And it's just great, bro. Like, that was like Darby's coming from the rafters. He comes down. It's like, yes, let's go. Let's fucking fight. It was great. And Blood and Guts is going to be really great next week. I'm looking forward to it. As for the Acclaim and Blood and Guts, the best thing, and I wouldn't have a problem with this at all, for them is to just show the F out in this match. Just show out. Like, literally, make it so that all of us in the majority, because you can't please everybody, like, who didn't want them in this match. But you can at least have everybody coming out of this when the match is over and be like, damn, we may not have wanted them in the match, but once they got in there, they showed the F out. Like, I'm glad, now that it's over, I'm glad that they were in it because of how great they were, like, actually doing it. Because, again, we can't really never seen them in this kind of format before, like death match or just, like, blood and gore and stuff like that of, like, beating the shit out of each other. Maybe the most they've done is maybe like a garbage like tag team match they had with the guns like who gets tossed in a dumpster. But hey, I'm gonna give them hope, and I think by this time next week we're gonna be saying how great Blood and Guts was, and one of the reasons is because of how great the Acclaim showed out. I mean, we know Bowens is a star. Like, just look at him. Maybe Cash is the one that's gonna have to really, really show out. But hey, I'm giving hope to you guys, and I really think Blood and Guts will be super dope. But God almighty, what the hell is Darby Allin going to do when he is locked inside of a cage and no one ever stays in there? So bro definitely is going to go to the top of it. Maybe he'll get thrown off by like Sammy did a few years ago. Or maybe he'll jump off it. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Okay, you guys, that is Dynamite. We are done. Put in the rearview mirror. We are done. This summer is still heating up. We're getting to the end half. I'm kind of glad because I'm sweating my ass off. It's hot. But SummerSlam, the biggest party of summer, is just a few weeks from this Saturday. I can smell it in the air. The return of the real tribal chief, Roman Reigns. It's been the longest 4 months ever. And then after that, we got All In Wembley Stadium. And then literally like a week after that, we got Bash in Berlin. It's going to be freaking wild. And then all this continues with SmackDown this Friday. How is Cody Rhodes going to react after he once again had to watch the Bloodline take out someone he cares about? This time it was Randy Orton. How is he going to try to gain some momentum before getting to the biggest party of the summer where he defends against Solo Sikoa? And will Logan Paul finally set himself up for only his third title defense against the megastar LA Knight? Yeah. for SummerSlam, where we will crown a #1 true megastar as the United States champion. Guys, you don't want to miss any of these shows coming up. You certainly don't want to miss what your boy, the best gabber in the biz, has to say afterwards. So, keep on liking, damn sure keep on subscribing, and keep on remembering that when it comes to talking wrestling, who better to gab with than Gabe right here. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed Dynamite tonight. It was sick, but it's time to move on to SmackDown this Friday to see what the hell is going to happen on the Blue Brand as we get closer and closer to the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. So, until then, deuces, fuses, and I'll see you guys after SmackDown on Friday.